Iron sharpening iron, hit a spark when we speak. Stronger together, yeah, we building each week. Each one reach one, now the whole world know. Big Jack story time, walk, talks, let's go.
All right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together, that if each one reach one, we will all grow and glow. And I got my man with me today, Walt Talks. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
My man, what's happening, Big Jack? How you doing, sir?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm doing better, much better.
Good,
For
man. That's good to hear.
those who don't know, I was out for a couple of weeks. We had to do some replays or reruns, but I feel much better. I'm glad we got to somewhat at the bottom of it, some health situations. But yeah, I'm doing better, man. So thank you. Thank you.
Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. Your health is your wealth, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what they say, and that's what they tell you. But it
Amen.
is true. It is true, without a
Yeah.
doubt. So look,
Yeah.
I got one for you. So we got another letter in today. And we know this is the last Sunday of the month, and the last Sunday of the month we do the Gentleman's Journal. We got
Absolutely.
an excellent panel, but this letter is a very touchy one because this one is dealing with I don't know. You tell me. Have you ever been in a situation where you don't know the facts, meaning you've never seen it, or you didn't witness it?
hmm
You were told by somebody that it happened. So how would you handle this situation, especially when it comes to your kid? So imagine something like that. Somebody told you somebody was doing something to your kid, but you don't know all the facts. You just know enough to be concerned. And what would you do about that?
So I got to get all the facts, and I got to get the context because I'm older now, so I'm more mature. But and my daughter is 44. But there would be a penitentiary in my future if somebody put their hands on my daughter. But I would definitely need to know all the facts. And I'm
Gotcha.
assuming somebody put their hands on somebody, but I would need to know the facts and the context.
Right.
And you know, I wouldn't react, but I would respond properly and whatever that is once I get all my facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you today that's nearby where the letter is all about,
Okay.
and we got some good panelists that's going to come and help us discuss this thing and help us get through this. So let's get them up on the stage so we can work this out today.
Man, you've been getting some good letters, man. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm like this
Yeah,
one was
man.
this was
Yeah.
good. So we're gonna break it
Wow.
down. We're gonna break it down. You ready?
All right, let's get it.
All right. Hey,
Let's
thank
get
y'all
to it.
all out there for tuning in to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, Gentleman's Journal, and let's get our panelists up on the stage. Oh, there they are. Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. What's going on? I see all of you up here. Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Good.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
So welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. And on the last Sunday of every month, we have a show called the Gentleman's Journal. And this is where we put men on the panel and we discuss men's topics. And today I have a letter that was sent into the show asking for some assistance. And this is what it's all about. And we're going to, read the letter to you. And then we're going to go around and we're going to discuss to see if we can help this father out. So this is a letter from a father. But before we get started, I know we got some new guests up on the stage. So I'm going to ask our guests to maybe introduce themselves, give a little quick introduction, and then we can go on with this letter. So I can start with that upper right corner for me, which is Frederick Jackson. Can you introduce yourself for us, please?
My name is Frederick Jackson. I'm the uncle of Billy Jackson. And I know there's a couple of my siblings on there looking at this show right now. And I hope I do you proud tonight.
All right. Well, thank you, Uncle Frederick Jackson. That is my uncle. So thank you for being up here on the panel. I'm going to start on the other side. Keith Mack, what's up, sir?
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Good. I'm 95% retired. I do some kinesiology work, but I'm a firearms expert. Ex-Navy SEAL, but I had a business where I taught firearm safety and self-defense. Hopefully I can bring some light to the question.
All right. Thank you for your service, Keith.
Thanks, sir.
And definitely 100% to say we have a Navy SEAL up on the stage. I've never had a Navy SEAL up on the stage, so thank you for that. And it's funny because Keith is a golfing buddy, Walt. So you've golfed with Keith. I believe we've golfed with him before, but if not, he's a golfer.
Yes, one time. Yes, we did.
Right.
Yes, we did. We rode together, as a matter of fact.
He doesn't look like somebody that you think a Navy SEAL, but you better not cross him. So
hey, man, I'm sure.
Yeah. Don't judge that book by the cover. That's for sure.
No, not at all.
And we got Mr. U down there. Sir, can you introduce yourself? I know you've been on the stage before, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
I feel like the Hollywood squares. I don't know. Am I in the right square?
Yeah, you're in the right square. X got the square. There you go, bro.
I'm a high performance coach. I am a community owner. Just started my new community 2 weeks ago. I'm a multi-show podcaster. But most importantly, for the context of this show, I'm a father of 3 adult daughters, 2 granddaughters. Well, I got 6 grandkids, but 2 are granddaughters, and I got 3 great-grandchildren. So I want to hear what this letter's all about. I'm ready to get into it.
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah.
I believe everyone on this stage is a father. And I'm the odd one out on this one because I'm a father of all boys. But I believe all of you have girls.
Perspectives too.
And so I would be the odd man out on this one because this is about a man wrote in about his daughter. But anyway, we're going to go into it. So I'm going to read this letter for you. And it just starts off, gentlemen, I'm reaching out because I don't know what the next move should be. And as a father, that's a hard place to be in. My daughter's 29 years old. She's educated, independent, strong-minded, everything a father could be proud of. She's been married for about a year now and recently welcomed a new beautiful baby girl in the world. From the outside looking in, it should be one of the happiest seasons of her life, but I've been hearing things that don't sit right in my spirit. I've been told that her husband has been putting his hands on her. I want to be clear. I have not seen it happen myself, but when I asked my daughter directly, she denied everything. She brushed it off like it was nothing. What makes this even more concerning is where the information came from. I heard about the physical abuse from my ex-wife, my daughter's mother. Now, to give you more context, my ex-wife and my daughter do not have a good relationship at all. So they barely communicate. So for her to reach out to me about this, that alone raised red flags. She sounded genuinely concerned, not dramatic, not emotional, just concerned for our daughter's safety. And that is what really shook me. Here is the part that's eating me up. I've witnessed verbal abuse from him before. The way he speaks to her, the tone, the disrespect, I've seen it with my own eyes. So when I hear these allegations, I can't just ignore them. It doesn't feel like a stretch. Now I'm stuck. Do I push harder and risk pushing my daughter away? Do I step back and trust that she'll come to me when she's ready? Do I confront him as a man and as her father? Because here's the truth. She may be grown, but she's still my little girl. And now there's a baby involved that raised the stakes in a way I can't ignore. This man is educated. He works hard. On paper, he looks like a good husband and provider. But none of that matters if he's putting his hands on my daughter. There is no excuse for that at all. Gentlemen, I'm asking you, man to man, father to father, what is my role here? How do I protect my daughter without losing her trust? How do I show strength without causing more damage? And what do I do about the possibility that she's protecting him and hiding the truth? Domestic violence is real. I don't want to overreact, but at the same time, if I refuse to react, I may regret it later. I need guidance, I need perspective, and I need wisdom. Because right now, I'm a father trying to balance love, protection, respect, of my daughter's independence, and I don't know where that line is. Respectfully, a concerned father. Oof, thank you. All right. So, gentlemen, do you anyone need me to read any more of that letter? Or did you get pieces? Okay, all right. And this is not like I don't have to call you out. I can, any one of you that have anything you need to say. But if if I can call you out, but Mr. Yu, I'm gonna have to call you out because you had to sound like I won't put you on the spot first. But
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the spot first. Well, Mr. Yu, you just heard the letter. What you thinking about this letter, man?
Wow. It reminds me of them crime dramas I used to watch.
Yeah.
There's so many different parts to this. It's like, which one do you pick out as the truth and then begin to move in that direction? It feels like, I know Walt said this a little earlier, that there's some information gathering that got to happen. Cause there's too much. I mean, if you try to take this into legalities, they would consider this hearsay. And it wouldn't go a whole lot farther than that legally. So it's like, I mean, as a father, I'll be honest, my blood's boiling a little bit because I had a child in a domestic, and we had to intervene. Like, I'm talking about emergency 911 type, like, get this thing done quick because you stay handy longer. I mean, threats were made to that degree where it was like, he said this was gonna happen to me when I sleep. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. We can't wait on that. So I know this is different than that, and I'm not trying to exacerbate the situation, but it's just like, when I think about that kind of stuff, I'm like, you know what? When you hear your child crying out, you got to respond as a father, just point blank and period. But when your child is not crying out and it's saying it's all good, daddy, sitting here right now, again, I gotta preface that again. I want to make sure everybody hears me that we don't have all the information. This is partial. I'm saying that if I'm on the other side of that letter with the pen in my hand, I don't know what I can do.
Right.
That's just me. I can call the cops and say, you know what, I heard. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that could make the fire hotter for the person if it's a real thing happening. I mean, or it can be like little boy who cry wolf. The cops can stop coming out, and that's the time when something happens. So it's like this is a rock and a hard place right here. He don't have all the info.
Right.
He don't. What kind of move you gonna make? Like my brother was talking about earlier, reacting and responding is two different things.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna jump into this and be up in the pen based on a piece of information. If you're gonna do time, at least do it for a good reason. You know what I'm saying? Not because you got emotional and you acted without knowing all the situation. So I wish I could give you guys a better answer. I'm so sorry, man, but that's the best that I got right there. I don't know what you do with this.
And that's what it's about. So Fred, I see you raising your hand. Go ahead, sir. What you got?
Everything that he was just saying is correct. So you got to back up a step or two. He got the information from his ex-wife. He has to be able to go now back to his ex-wife and say, where did you get it from? And if she says, well, I got it from our daughter. Well, she said no to him, but she opened up to mom. So now if mom said that's where she got the information from, now he can go back to his daughter in private and talk to her again and say, hey, I know you told me this is not going on, but I've talked with your mom and she said you told her. So we need to do something moving forward.
That's a good point. I mean, go to the ex, and if she reached out to you, so I mean, regardless what's going on, she did reach out. So she's looking for help, and someone's looking for help. You can hear the cries. It's like, and that's a hard spot for the dad to be in. So, Mac, I'm gonna see what you got for me, sir.
Well, as the father of two, grown women, 34 and 30, that live out on their own, for us, we have rules of the road, and it's concrete steps that we use, that I've come up with for them and for myself. First, I'm going to confront my daughter with conversation that's not going to escalate anything for her to keep from me. Two, I'm going to talk to her best friends because maybe she's told them something. Everybody tells somebody something. But to let my daughter know in that initial conversation that I support you without judgment. I'm not going to, I want you to reach out. And if she refuses to reach out, as the brother said, there's really nothing you can do on hearsay. I'm not going to get supercharged and rush into the situation. I'm certainly not going to confront him if she doesn't confide in me. But my first step is to let her know that I have belief in you and I support you without judgment. And hopefully that'll open up some highway to communication. Because as I heard you read, he really doesn't have a good relationship with the ex-wife. Well, I may talk to her, but I actually want to hear it from my daughter.
No, good points. Good points. I'm as a person with an ex-wife, I don't have a good relationship. If that was mine, it'd be like the fact that she reached out to me would have been the thing that triggered me. Like, whoa, wait a minute, because that's not a normal thing for me.
Right.
I see you up there, Walt. What you got for me, sir?
So I'm going to amend my earlier statement, and based on the facts that you said in the letter that you didn't talk about when we came on, the father has witnessed the son woofing at the daughter. So by this time, I have already checked him. We have already had a discussion. We are clear on what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. And at that point, we got immediate action. So as for my wife or my ex-wife, I don't know. Like I said, depending on the relationship, and her motives could be questioned also. And then let's be honest about this, guys. We're all men. So and we all at some point have had a woman talk recklessly to us. I would imagine. I mean, we all in our, well, I'm in my 60s, and I know, so 50s at least, right, Jack? So, there's nothing, we know that there's nothing more dangerous than the tongue of a woman who will talk in a reckless manner to a man that she knows is not going to put her hands on him. So I don't condone screaming and hollering at women, and I certainly don't condone hitting women, but also I don't condone women provoking people to that point. I mean, two adults have to have a conversation. So I will still have to do my investigation. But if I'm witnessing him talk to her a certain way, we've already had a problem. Me and him have already had a discussion. And if I've witnessed it twice, we had a problem by now. By this time, we've already had a problem. So by this time, I would probably have to take responsibility. If he is hitting her, I would have to take responsibility for hitting her because I've already slapped blood out of his nose. That's just the way I feel about it. So I mean, like, you're just not going to, because think about it. If he's talking to the daughter in front of the father like that, as men, he's basically telling the father, and what you gonna do about it? That's basically what he's saying to him. Am I missing something?
No,
it's like the school bully. If the school bully comes up and punches the guy in the chest, and you're right there, he looks at you like he's looking at you like, and what you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do nothing about it because he disrespected you as much as he disrespected her. Am I missing something? Help me out, guys. Talk to me.
Well,
okay.
You get one shot because I don't know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking over everything after that if I witness it. Now, if some guy's screaming and yelling at my daughter, I'm a prioritize her safety right away.
100%.
Right away. And my safety plan for her is to live show, good show, right?
Yeah, it is live. Look, I don't want to put nobody in those spots. Nobody
neutralize the threat.
Yeah.
I'm going to neutralize the threat.
There you go.
Period.
There you go.
Period. That's my child.
And the thing is, it is real, and domestic violence is real, and we're not promoting domestic violence, but we're all speaking against it. And as fathers of daughters, all of you, and I'm even saying as any kid, it doesn't matter if son or daughter, if someone is abusing your kid, especially a young kid, we definitely protective. But when they become adults, when do you say I'm gonna back off a little bit? Like he said in the letter, regardless, she's always gonna be my little girl. She's my little girl. So Now, as fathers, when your instincts tell you something's wrong, but your daughter's denying it, do you trust the words or do you trust your gut? I mean,
But
now
he's seen it. He's seen and heard it already. You
he's seen
said
and heard verbal.
he's
Yeah,
seen and heard it verbally. So I'm asking, what my question to him is, what did you do at that moment?
right.
Because if you do nothing, in the guy's mind, hey, he's all right with it. He hasn't crossed the line, because if he crossed the line, clearly the father would have dealt with it right there. So
All
the
right.
father clearly either chose to do nothing or didn't feel like he crossed the line. But he at the same time said that he's talking recklessly to the daughter. He didn't use the same words, but he's, screaming and hollering at the daughter or talking to her in a way. And we both know abuse is not always about just putting your hands on somebody.
No.
So, so I again, man, to me, I mean, he's in the second quarter, because the moment the disrespect comes up, you got to address it, especially if you see it. You're there, you see it, you have to address it. You have to address it.
Well, if he can do it right there in front of the father, I guarantee you
Thank
it's
you.
not the first time.
That's my point. Thank you, Keith.
He's been coming strong for a long time. And mental abuse is just as damaging as physical abuse, because it tears the person down from inside.
From
It makes
inside.
them
There
feel
you go.
like it really taps into their self-worth. So
Yeah.
if that's the case, you do have to step in. It's your child.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that your child, and I'm speaking as like Walt, you're making it very clear that he was there and the disrespect was there. Is your daughter looking for help? Do you know, at what point is protecting your adult child crossing the line and interfering in their life?
That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it, because you just did this in front of me. You just did this in front of me. So now at this point, you're not going to disrespect my daughter, but you have chosen to disregard me at that moment. And we're going to have a conversation. And I'm not saying we fighting and tussling, and I've already spoken to my daughter at that point about this guy, because what Frederick just said, hey, if you do it in front of me, I'm already asking her what's going on when I'm not here. And I get it, man. Married, 29, babies, job. I get it. I understand that. I understand the frustration of new marriage. I mean, but at this point, I'm already suggesting, hey, maybe you guys need to talk to somebody. Maybe you guys need some counseling. I would have talked to them. By this time, I would have spoken to them separately and together, because everybody needs to know what I'm going to tolerate. Further on, what you said, Jack, if she don't want to help, that's where it gets tough for me. But this part right here, this is easy work. This is a layup. I've already seen them do it. Oh man, we've already had a discussion. But this has probably happened while they were dating. You know what I'm saying? This probably happened while they were dating. If you're paying attention, man, all you got to do is put him under a little pressure. You're going to see how he's going to treat your daughter. And then the daughter, as a father, I'm asking myself, where did I go wrong? Because she knows I didn't raise her this way. She knows what I tolerate and what I'm not going to stand for. So that's where it gets complex for me. I'm like, what did I miss? But once I hear him talking to her, that's easy work there. I mean, that's just that's a conversation. Then what she does with that, then that's where it gets tough. But it's not going. It would not have caught me by surprise, because I just witnessed it. I witnessed it probably more than once. Yeah.
It's the thin line between them.
Mac just cut out.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. Now I know that the question came up, and it didn't come out in the letter, and I can't give you any answer for it because I only can go off of what was said. Was why don't the mother and the daughter have a good relationship? So many questions that we're not able to get across because of that fact that what's going on with that they don't. But I can't give you an answer to that because I can only tell you what was said. But with that being said, that's a good question because and that might be again we throw might in there, and I don't want to keep throwing because you're speculating a lot. But you're saying, do the father know more than we know? Of course he does, and I don't want to ruin my little relationship with my daughter by getting into this thing because maybe that is. I don't know. Again, that's a speculation right there. But the situation is the situation. The real is the real. This ex-wife, the daughter's mother, did reach out to you and say he physically abusing her or physically hit her. It's abuse regardless of how you do it. But and now what you going to do about it?
Yeah, sorry guys, my brother had called. What's the cost of
We got you.
safety? I used to ask all my classes, what is the cost of
Cost of
safety?
safety. Good question.
When do you decide, at what point do I step in? When my daughter's standing there basically, taking the physical abuse, I mean the verbal abuse, that's past the point of me stepping in, because at the
Yes.
cost of safety, now I'm visiting her in a hospital or a woman's
Yes.
shelter. Or
Yes.
when does that trigger go off for me? So I'm looking, my kids, my daughters, their safety is when I can step in right away and prevent the unwinnable situation. Because once the fists are thrown, it's unwinnable.
Yes.
There's so much lost at that point. It's lost when someone's screaming and bantering over someone. That's the lost point for me. As you
Right.
said in the beginning, Jack, as some of you guys said, I don't want a woman screaming at me. I'm not going to scream at them. Let's live
Right.
civil in the house. And when you see that unrest happen, it's go time for me. It's time to step in.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
a question.
It has already gone too far.
A question came up in the chat. As men, do you feel intimidated by the significant other? So,
Nope.
as a man, do you feel intimidated by your significant other?
Nope.
That was a question.
Nope.
So,
But they have a good relationship, though. The daughter and mother don't have a good relationship, but they have a civil relationship, right?
You talking about the father-daughter?
The father and the ex-wife have a civil relationship.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
No, I think
All he
he
said
said
was that the ex-wife reached out to him, and
Well, he
so
did say something like she didn't seem dramatic, and he said they were cool. Read that part again when you get to
I
it.
gotta get
I
back
mean, it
to
wasn't like I didn't get the feeling like I don't like what you just said about your situation, Jack.
Right.
I didn't get that out of it. I didn't get that out
Let me
of
see.
it.
I can find that part. Let me see. Makes it concerning. I heard about it. The abuse. I said what makes it even more concerning is where the information came from. I heard it. I heard about it, about the physical abuse from my ex-wife, my daughter's mother. Now, to give you more context, my ex-wife and my daughter don't have a good relationship at all. They barely communicate. So for her to reach out to me about this, that alone raised red flags. She sounded genuinely concerned, not dramatic, not emotional, just concerned about our daughter's safety, and that's what really shook me. So that's what he said about her.
So he gave her the benefit of the doubt. He took her at face value, is what he did, correct?
To a point, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he took her at face value.
The only thing when I hear that is the fact that he called her, one his ex-wife, and then he said my daughter's mother. So, he didn't say, our daughter. He never said our daughter is, my daughter's mother.
No, but
it's almost like baby's daddy.
But depending on the punctuation, his ex-wife doesn't necessarily have to be his mother's daughter.
100%.
His daughter's mother. So when he said ex-wife, it seemed like he was giving the point of he was clarifying that is my daughter's mother. And depending on how the punctuation is in the letter, it could read two different ways. But to me, I just got that he was stating that.
He's a fifth grade spelling champ. I can't give you that. I don't
Sixth
know.
grade, man. No, but I'm just saying, but think about it. Because if he says my ex-wife, what's your next question? Well, is that her mother? Isn't that your next question?
It would be. You would, you can assume. Again, we can assume. I'm not sure. And so nowhere in it is it saying yes or no. And I'm not saying, I know it's an ex-wife. So like I said, I threw my 2 cents in there. Like if my ex-wife called me right now saying something, I would, it'd be like, where the heck did, because that wouldn't happen. But if it was what the boys and she called, what I'm saying, she would call if something happened to them. And that's where, I'm like, okay, because we still going to always have kids in common. We're going to have grandkids in common. So regardless if we can't get along, that has nothing to do with our daughter and now our granddaughter. So I don't know, like I say, does that trigger once the granddaughter is in the world? So I know you said he got some new grandbabies, and that abuse
Don't even
is
think about putting your.
I'm saying, but that's considered child abuse. If you arguing and fussing in front of the babies or the kids, that is considered child abuse. So by the law, so that's by law. So now comes the fact of, how do you see that as not just a dad, but now as a granddad? Not only are you doing this in front of, to my daughter, but you're doing it in front of my granddaughter. So I don't know on that one.
So let me ask you guys this. Out of the 5 of us, the moment you saw him talk disrespectfully to your daughter, is that a conversation that you're going to have with the son-in-law?
I'm going to shut that down immediately.
Thank you. Okay. So can we assume that
it's a very close conversation? I can smell what he had. I smell what he had for lunch.
There we go. So can we assume, and I'm not saying assume, but I'm saying assume, like we can stipulate the fact that we're going to have that conversation, and it doesn't have to be disrespectful, because if you jump on him in front of her, you basically just made it worse. So you got to pull him to the side, have a conversation, whether y'all take a ride, go smoke a cigar, walk down the street, have a shot of whiskey, whatever you all do to converse. But when this happens, you're not surprised. And I don't know how many of you guys are Godfather fans, right? Anybody Godfather fan? Am I the only Godfather fan on the thing?
I got
my
you.
man. All right. So remember when Sonny beat the guy with the trash can top? Because he knew. I mean, think about it. The dude was talking trash to the wife the whole time. And then finally Sonny had enough, and he was almost upset with himself that he didn't act sooner. And the guy caught the brunt of that. Jack, you looking like you never saw a Godfather. We're not gonna hold that against you. But I'm just saying. You're gonna have to get yourself together, man. You're gonna have to make better life choices if you haven't seen the Godfather 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right.
Friend. Go ahead. I'm looking at the comment, and it's like, see, I'm trying to understand how the GJ show goes, because my first time here. Again, thanks for inviting me. I don't want to overstep. I'm saying, but I'm looking at this comment. I'm like, this is what I'm thinking. I'm saying, like, the father, is he watching this show? Is he hearing us picking him apart like this? But I heard that comment, and that's what I was thinking about. You saw it. I feel like there was enough lines in that paper to add that part in there.
Right.
That he came out his mouth, and I had a conversation, or I stepped to him, or whatever. It wasn't mentioned.
No, and it wasn't.
It wasn't edited out.
No, and it wasn't mentioned. And I think that's
this comment by Sharon. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yeah, Sharon.
This is. I'm asking stuff the whole time since I heard the letter. I'm asking the same question right now. You saw that? You stood back?
Yeah. So Sharon's question was, is the father intimidated by the husband? And that's why he didn't confront him. That's why he
Could be.
It could be 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But we don't abuse people we love. We don't abuse anyone, but especially those we love.
There you go.
But the thing is, like, and I know we said, the first time I heard it, and I just put, it's like, but you don't step up on everybody. You don't know what dude's all about. We don't know. So, and I'm with you. I hear you.
But see, by the time it comes to think about it, man, let's just come on, man. We all been in relationships. This is what I'm saying and I'm not pointing fingers at the father, right? Because I'm sure he's the father. He's writing this because he wants help. But just human nature, man. I hate bullies and I hate racists. But the typical, just the schoolyard bully, man. You gotta punch him in his nose or step to him the moment that it comes up, because every time you don't, it encourages him to do more. So you can't tell me they got a 29, maybe you can't tell me this. Maybe they just she got pregnant on the first date, and they had the baby and she had a shotgun married. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But at some point, 29 years old, married kid, he has seen them interact, right? He said he's seen it with his own eyes. And a marriage and a baby do not solidify a marriage. That's more pressure on a marriage, if anything, right? So the father's got to be feeling a certain way. Like, so if he's scared of him, I mean, he had 15 chances to have these conversations with his daughter. I'm not saying he did or didn't because it's not in the letter, but at this point, he's playing catch up. He's playing catch up. He is playing catch up. And I'm gonna tell you, man, let's go the other way. There's a show called Snapped. It's all about women killing their husbands. So, you know, if let's just go the other way. If she wakes up tonight, goes to bed tonight and wakes up and cuts this guy's throat in his sleep, and the father knows what he knows just based on what he's told us he knows, he's still culpable. Either way, he's culpable. So whether you want to get in it or not, you in it. You are involved. Am I right or wrong?
True. Well, I mean, you could also look at, I had a gentleman that took my concealed firearm class, and on Sunday, he got up in the middle of the class, shook my hand, and left. And I asked him, I said, "Are you okay?" He said, "I'm the guy that's going to use the gun first. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to hesitate. So before I get into trouble, I'm going to stick to these, and that's my coping method." So I'm not saying that the father's afraid. I'm also wondering, what is his relationship with his daughter?
Hey, that's a great point. That's a great that's a great point.
Say, that's the unfortunate part, and Mr.
We
U,
don't
just
know.
to throw it out there. Sometimes we've had only one person actually send a letter back saying thank you. So we don't know if they watch this and when they will watch it or whatever, and hopefully we can, you know. So we try to break it down as much as we can from what they send us. But you know, you're right. We get a lot of empty pieces. To get them on the stage and let them tell their story would be wonderful, so that we can all interrogate the person and chew them up. But that's, you know, but that would be great. That would be great. But that don't always happen. But with that said, we have what we have, and my question with you, fellas, on this one is: say it was your daughter, that was the one being the abuser, the one that was that one that you heard being abusive to the husband and saying all of that, you know, this and that, and the husband is standing there like, because he see you there, and I don't even want to get caught up in it. Would you check your daughter?
Absolutely, 100%. We don't put our hands on people. 100%. 100%. Because here's the thing, and like I said, what did I say at the beginning? Before you read the letter, I wouldn't react, right? I'd have to respond. And I also stated there's nothing worse than, and we know women abuse men every day, you know? So there's nothing worse than a woman that knows you're not going to put her hands on her. So we're not doing that. Because again, the daughter is putting me in the bad spot at that point. You know what I mean? My daughter, who I love, is putting me in a bad spot at that point. It's kind of like you out on a date, you know, and you know, a guy says something to you, woman at walking down the street, you know, you just kind of like ignore it and keep walking. Or either she's saying something and instead of her just saying no thank you to the guy, you know, Big Jack, you know, you can't talk to me. I'm with my husband. You know, he gonna do this to you. She just put you in that situation. Hey man, I'm telling you, I've left women for less because you're not gonna put me in that situation. I'm not gonna let you be disrespected, but at the same time, hey, look, man, and Keith is the firearms instructor, and you know, I mean, the football player just got killed in Georgia a couple weeks ago. Same thing, domestic, being on the fire department. I see domestics, man. We run the same house every Friday night. Every Friday night, it's the same house. So I mean, but you can't. And I watched a woman hit a man in the head with a hammer, and I watched the guy sit there and say, "Don't lock her up." So I know it can go both ways. You know, so but if my daughter's doing it, I'm gonna have to have that conversation, even from the beginning. When I notice, you know, oh, he's just, you know, he henpeck, or he's a sucker, or he's this, that, and the third. You know, I'd be the first one to tell a guy, hey, my man, you gonna have to step your game up and leave my daughter alone, man, because she's no good for you, bro. Because you know it's coming. You know these things how they gonna end, man. You know how they gonna end. There ain't no way around it. You can say you don't want to be involved. You can feel like it's none of your business. You can do whatever you want to do. But the reality is, when somebody does something in front of you, you are now involved, whether you like it or not.
Gotcha.
And how you deal with it, you know. And like you said, it's easier to lighten up than tighten up. So you need to tighten up first, and then you can lighten up down the road. But if you don't, like raising a kid, it's just gonna get worse. He's gonna put dessert, and he's gonna take your apple, and tomorrow he'll be sitting at home at your dinner table eating your food, man. And so you might have to deal with it one way or the other.
So, Mr. you said you had something you want to share, or
I don't want to cut in, man, but
you good?
You cutting in? You ain't cutting in, bro. You in?
Yeah, because Big Jack asked a question, man. Only one person answered. You walk, so I couldn't cut into me. But
respectfully, I apologize. Thank you.
Copy that. No, we good. We good to go, Russ.
No, we good.
When I heard the letter, I heard something else. And one of you guys touched on it. Forgive me, I don't remember which one of you guys touched on it. But it speaks to preparation. And I also kind of wanted, not to be, since you breaking the letter down to the lowest common denominator now, I'm like, was she prepared? If she's in a situation like what we think she may be in, has she been prepared for this? And I'm saying this I'm going full transparent. Every time I get on somebody's show, I spill my guts. I don't know why I do this, but I'm a different kind of father. I'm not the kind of father that knows how to tear a car apart and put it back together again. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do roofing. I don't know how to, I mean, honestly, I don't even fish. I'm definitely a shooter, but I don't fish. So there's a lot of things that I guess fathers and husbands are supposed to do, and it's just like expected. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, if my daughter has to, she's in an apartment or her house, and she had to get something fixed. It's like, did I prepare her to know how to do that herself? Because I can't come to her rescue every single time. I need to show her how to use a wrench, how to use a screwdriver. She may got to go and reach out to some broke piece of man to get help for something that she can do in her own house. I know that I don't mean women's lib, but I'm just saying, just generally speaking, people might think, oh, you know what? Women shouldn't have to do that kind of stuff. It's your job. I get that. But I'm just kind of putting these two little dichotomies together here. I'm like, you know what? Did he prepare her for a situation like this? Did I prepare my daughter to be able to fix or screw on or tighten a shower head or something that she needs? You know what I'm saying? That is something that, she should be able to do and feel independent about it because she's been taught, she's been encouraged and prepared for such a thing. It makes me just think about this. Am I losing everybody? Because I hope I'm not.
I think
did it make sense?
Yeah, yep.
We're on the same page. Yeah, I just wonder if she was prepared for this. If she's been prepared for, because that really is something that as fathers we got to do that. Yeah, we can come running in. I mean, you're talking about car revved up, whatnot, screeching to a screeching halt, squealing brakes, come out the trunk or whatever, or come out the hip. We can do all of that kind of stuff, and yeah, okay, there might be a place for that in certain situations. But do we prepare our daughters to not be victims? Some things are inescapable, but do we do a good job of preparing it? I guess it made me just think about that, even with my own. You know what I'm saying? Because I highlighted a situation earlier in the show where I questioned myself. I said, you know what? Did I do a good job in getting her ready? Now, just to be clear, I'm not. Before I said, I know it's going to be on YouTube and Facebook. Before I even open my mouth and say, I'm putting my foot in it right. I put my foot in it right now. But she was ready to do some things to people to protect herself. Things that I'm like, whoa, I'm not even telling you to do that. That's what she was ready to do. So perhaps I did over prepare. But as fathers, we had that responsibility as well. So we had to prepare them for that. And when I read the letter, when I hear the letter read to me, it didn't sound like that. Y'all got the same feel from that? Do y'all feel the same way about that?
No,
there's but it's one, you have to have the knowledge, and you also have to have applied it for yourself in order to pass it down. As I told Big Jack, I have that stuff for my kids. I won't read it all, but one is I'm gonna believe and support her without judgment. Two, I'm gonna encourage her to prioritize her safety first.
First and
Three,
foremost.
document evidence and calmly secure it between multiple people so that if this
Mm-hmm.
goes to trial, there's more people that have evidence at the same time. It proves your case, that much more. Number four, if you need to seek professional guidance and support, well, I'm your first support group, and we'll get the professional group that you need because you don't need to be in that situation. Five, build a trust, build a trusted support network outside of family too, because sometimes your friends are the people you go to first. And number six, understand your options for your independence and your long-term safety. Is this the long-term safety plan? Getting yelled at or hit on? That's not a long-term safety plan. That's a short-term incident. And that incident is also going to bring other people in. As you said, you said it, you did. You're going to come to the defense of your child. Now the law is triggered in multiple directions. And now multiple people are involved. Multiple people can get in trouble over defense because the law is going to interpret all the facts. Do I have all the facts when I decide to initiate action? I may or may not have. I like what you guys said. I'm going to pull him out away from my daughter and have a talk with him. That's a good strategy. That's a great strategy because now you have the chance to interact with him one-on-one, man to man. And maybe that solves the situation. Maybe he hasn't been raised to respect women, but you can help him you can help teach him how to respect your child. But you were right. You hit it. Do we prepare them? I could write all this down. My daughters have a copy. I've given my classes a copy, but does everything go according to script? We know it
No.
doesn't.
no,
No, no,
Yeah.
no. So
but now here's a question for you. Now, do we raise our kids to be, as they say sometimes, the victim, or where I whooped my daughter every time she did something, so now it's normal for a man to put his hands on her.
mm,
That
And
part.
so
That
I
part.
mean, it's
mm.
that's real. That is real because we
That part.
where did you get that from? And I know Fred, you up there and you ain't said nothing. So I see you up there and I see my bracket just got busted too. So for all of y'all out there,
Wide open.
Duke lost to UConn. So let's get that out
What?
the way. So,
Oh my
get that
God.
out the way. But Fred, do you have anything you want to share with us on this?
Buzzer beater at that, Walt. Buzzer beater.
Is that right?
Yeah, 2
Oh
seconds left on the
man,
clock. So, yeah.
I'm done.
Well, I have 4 sisters and 3 daughters and now 3 granddaughters. And I've been lucky or blessed that I don't know if any of them ever been in a situation where some guy was physical with them, that it was enough that they had to come and tell me they was having an issue. So, but one of the things I will say about them all, they are independent women. And if I'm in my head, I'm looking at them, I would think if somebody was putting their hands on him, he couldn't close his eyes.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just saying my sisters and my daughters, they are some nice people, but they got a streak in them, and I don't see where that guy could lay next to them and close his eyes. So
I see a pot of hot grits in his future.
it's going to be something. And then in the back it all up, they're going to come out with they done documented what's been happening, and found they couldn't take it no more. So when they wound up going to court, they said, I've been telling my friends, am I telling this? But they just couldn't take it no more, and they took it in their own hands to correct the situation.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's again, I know we're trying to do our best to help a person who says he's at that point, and I don't think that he was afraid. I think he's more. There's a line that you don't want to cross because, like I say, you can overreact and find yourself, in jail over something that even your own daughter is not supporting you. Like you say, it don't look good. You don't look good when you're standing before a judge or a jury, and the person you was protecting is the person saying he overreacted.
That
You should
happens
be
a lot.
doing it. That's the worst. So at the same time, and Walt, you said it, and I'm a former military police officer, but I've been in domestic violence cases where I went in the house, and as soon as I put my hands on the person who was doing the abuse, the other one was the one we had to worry about coming, with the butcher knife, whatever, trying to stop us from grabbing that person. So it's like, so I've been down that road where, we can do it. Y'all can't get in it, but we got this relationship where we do this all the time. And even though that's your daughter, and I ain't raised you that way. I'm on my own now, and I'm into this thing. This is how we love each other. And I know it makes zero sense, but
no, it makes sense if you're in it.
Again, and you're in it. And he went to her, and she said, not to the point she played it off. Like, don't worry about that. It's all good. And what Keith said, giving you a list, and I think he didn't touch on everything he said, but I would say give education on how to call for help if you ever need help. Turning that cell phone off and hitting those certain buttons, and at least that'll dial 911. And it's some things that you can do to try to help that person. Give them some information. Here's some phone numbers. Here's some of those things, because I can't come to you because, Dad, I know how you're going to react, but I do need some help. And I don't, I love this guy. No different than the Godfather when the sister gets mad because he killed the dang husband. Like, you killed.
Hey, man, you saw it. Okay, you saw it, man. Okay, you saw it.
See, there you go. I did see it. But she was upset. She was really, really upset with him because that was her husband and that was her baby's father and all of that. And you killed him. And business is business. But to her, that was her husband. That was her baby's father. So father. So with all that being said, it's a thin line, and y'all said that, and y'all really hit on that, and I think you had a real good discussion on that. We can't help this guy all the way. We can just give your advice. I think I had the right panel. I think I had the right guys up here. All of y'all had some really good things to say on it, and I don't want to take away. We still got some time if y'all got some things to share. But it's a thin line, and we don't have all the answers. If this man was to walk up to you, any one of you, and say, "Hey, bro, I need some advice," and you could have that full conversation with him, I think you would probably dig a little deeper and get a little bit more out of it. But again, trying to put yourself in his shoes at that moment, that your ex-girlfriend, it don't even have to be ex-wife, your baby's mother called you and said, "Hey, our daughter is being abused," and you haven't seen anything other than the verbal part. You've never seen physically. How would you handle it? And Walt, I know verbal is enough. That is enough. But like you said, there's some women that's rough, and they say
no doubt.
Real, like Fred was just talking about some of them sisters he got. I can promise you,
I can imagine.
It was coming both ways. It was on fire. It wasn't no. They were just sitting there taking it. It was just one of those like, woof. So
to the young men listening to this show who have daughters that aren't dating yet, is it safe to say? I mean, I know I'm old and it's a different time, but it doesn't get old for you to show your daughter how a man should treat you. I mean, that never gets old. You can never start too young. And I just remember the time when the guy came to pick my daughter up, and they go outside, and he got in the car and left her standing, and she came back in the house. And the guy was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, what's wrong? What happened? And I didn't barbecue him. I brought him in the house and had a conversation with him. I said, man, that's my daughter. You coming to take my daughter out, you jump in the car and leave her standing at the curb. But again, if you don't know, you don't know, right? But I also told my daughter back in the day, there's only two types of women in this world as men see it. You the woman, I come to your house at a decent time, pick you up, meet your family, and take you out and bring you home at a decent time, or you the woman I pick up afterwards. You know, so you're having these conversations with your daughters. So when this happens, or when he does raise a voice, what's the comment? My father don't even raise his hand at me. Come on, man. You know, that's the oldest saying in the world when it comes to women, right? My father don't even put his hands on me. My father don't raise his voice at me. And that's just all I'm saying is you got to start having those conversations. You just don't wake up at 17 years old after she's been on Instagram and had this conversation. So I'm just saying the verbal, you know something, you got to say something and establish the boundaries early. Because if you don't, you're going to be where you are right now. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
So.
And that is again, we know 100% domestic violence is real. We know that it can go both ways. It can go south very quick, as Keith made the comment, and all of you made that comment. It can go south real quick because you're not going to put your hands on me, and the minute you do, I'm in protective mode, especially like you say now that baby's involved, because I can promise you that's a mama lion down there now, and it's like I ain't having it. So if it was something, you might want to change your, as Siobhan Jackson said, leopard doesn't change their spots. But that sometimes is, we don't want to use that excuse. But with that, I do appreciate you all and your comments and your opinions on this one. I didn't want to put anybody on the spot, and I hope I didn't. I thank you, Mr. Yu, for sharing your insight, Keith, for your knowledge and putting it out on paper. Fred, thank you again for hanging out here with us. And Walt, as usual, you always bringing good stuff. But I do. I'm gonna give us each one of y'all a minute, if you don't mind, just to share your opinion as we close out for this father. If you were speaking to this man face to face right now, what would you tell him? And I'm gonna go with Brother Keith first. So Brother Keith, go ahead and tell us, what would you tell this man if you had a face to face right now? What would you say?
I would tell him to, have better communication with your daughter, establish a line of truth, set some boundaries and, of comfort to let her know that you're going to support her regardless of whether she's an active participant or not, and to let her know that she should be safe. You're here in this situation. Do you feel like you can make it better by opening up communication and support situation, a support setting with him, with a professional? Or do you feel like this is something that you can't solve, or you just need room to take a break from? I'd let him know those are the conversation topics. I'd say just try to talk to your daughter to see if you can get her to open up. That's all I'd have to say.
All right, I appreciate that. And good stuff. Good stuff. Frederick, Mr. Fred, Uncle Fred, what would you say to him, sir?
Well, two things. First thing, we got to work on this budget so that my pay can be a little bit better. But the second thing is that you're right. Once you heard about it and you got the information, the daughter said it wasn't true, you got to find a way to just get her off to the side and talk to her some more to see if she'll open up to you, and you can let her know, hey, maybe you're not going to tell me today, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. And if something does start to go down, don't hesitate to give me a call so that we can get somebody to help us. Because we don't have to run into the fire to correct it. We can get other people to help us put this fire out.
Well
Good
said.
stuff. Good stuff. And I'll give you half of my pay when the show is over, so you'll be good, sir.
All right.
Triple nothing.
Triple it. Okay. Mr. Yu, what you got for me, sir?
All right. Spoken to somebody who also has a 3 adult daughters, I would say to his father, hopefully you're watching and listening somehow, it's not too late to give the advice that maybe you didn't give before. It's not too late to reinforce how this person needs to be feeling about themselves and how they should be treated and what they should expect from a significant other. It's not too late to love on them and let them know, you know what? Talking to your daddy is a safe place. You can share anything with me without judgment, like my brother said. Thank you for your time on this, Big Jack.
No, thank you. And it's not last but not least type thing. But my man Walt Talk, what would you got for us, sir?
That man best.
Trust it. Hey man, I would say just trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not, and you know that. Just you raised your daughter to be who she is. You know what your boundaries are, what you raised her to be. You know her better than the guy. You've had her your whole life. So all I'm saying is trust your gut and do the right thing for the right reason. You can't wish anything away. What you resist only persists. Deal with it one time and get it over with, whatever that is. Because if you don't, here we are. What you try to prevent is still coming back to bite you. So good luck. And I hope you write into us again and tell us how you resolve it, or how you dealt with it, whether you resolved it or not. Thank you.
No. Again, fellas, thank you for a wonderful show. It's a touchy subject. I know you all have daughters, and it's great that none of you could say you're going through it right now. None of you are the ones who wrote the letter. I can promise everybody out there, the letter writer is not on this stage right now. But at the same time, it is real, and somebody who is listening, hopefully the writer of the letter is listening and can actually get something out of this, because it's not wrong to have the feelings that you have, to be a concerned father for your daughter and trying to figure a way to help her without crossing that line, because they are adults and you did raise them to that point. And now, like I say, you can't run to the rescue all the time. But like we say with my kids now, we're at sugar distance. You got enough distance that you can't come borrow sugar, but I can get to you within 24 hours. So that's my sugar distance. That's why I like to be with my kids. So with that being said, I would say thank you all for tuning in tonight. I ask you to continue to support the Iron Sharpening Iron universe and all the shows that come out of the universe. And this was a great Gentleman's Journal. If you got anything out of this, go ahead and make sure you hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and continue to tune in and watch. And we'll catch you next time on the Iron Sharpening Iron show and the Iron Sharpening Iron universe. Gentlemen, if you can hang back, please hang back. And after we close out, and I'll talk to y'all behind stage. All right. Talk to you later. Good night. Peace.
Peace.